with it by the native Greg Fann, the Preacher Man, and his sidekick Shanan Jones. Frank discussions of issues affecting the ATL, Fulton County, the state of Georgia, the nation, and around the world. And now, here they are, live and in living color, the team of Jones and Fann, the Preacher Man.
Welcome again to another edition of Straight Talk with yours truly, Greg Fann, the Preacher Man, and we got Big Papa with us tonight, and he's without Samuel. How you doing, Big Papa?
I'm doing all right. How you doing, Bishop?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. Let me just premise this by saying to you guys, no, there was no contract dispute. No, there was no contract dispute. He just was absent. Just it was hot last week, and he had a baby, and the baby was crying, and all of those things that happen to new fathers with 1 year old. They're trying to walk and talk and everything else.
My Lord. Yeah. Next thing I know, it was the next day.
But one of the things that, on a serious note, though, Shannon, I just want to tell the people we had the opportunity today to meet with the new superintendent of the Atlanta Public School, Dr. Johnson. Right? He'll start his tenure. He'll start his tenure on the 5th of August. Great meeting. Yeah, great meeting with him today. And a lot of the brothers of the clergy were there. Reverend Timothy McDonald, he was there after coming back from the press conference on democracy.
Where the clergy endorsed Biden, yeah.
Right, standing up for Biden. And of course, we had Dr. Stanley Johnson, the vice president of the New Era Convention, and also he's got many titles, but Dr. Stanley Johnson, he was there. We had Dr. Leland Jones. He was there. He talked about the program. He talked about Shanan real bad. Jones Leland must love you. He must love you, man. He talked about you real bad.
We have a love for one another.
But he enjoyed
good cut up buddies together.
Yeah, good cut up, but he loves
the meeting together. We literally sat in one meeting together and got yelled at. Literally, we had to turn around and say, "Man, we two grown men here." But I mean, we cut up. So we have to tell each other, "You stay over there, I'm gonna stay over here. I don't want to have to get nobody straight."
But one thing is, he really gave us great comments about the program. He watches Straight Talk and was telling people about the program and how they ought to watch it, because we give a lot of good information. And of course, there was Dr. Eric Thomas, who's pastor of the church, and he facilitated this for us over at St. Peter, and the superintendent was there along with the president. Well, they're not president. They considered them the president of the school board, Sister Mitchell. She's the president of the chair of the school board. Chair of the board. Well, chair, president. Mitchell. Yeah, Erica Mitchell, she was there. And then we had Ishe Collins, who was a former chair. Yeah. She was there. Mm-hmm. And of course, we had Dr. Arnold. His wife was there. He's the pastor of Philadelphia Baptist Church, the senior pastor there. Reverend Morris was a pastor there for many years. My aunt used to take us to Reverend Morris Church over Philadelphia when we were little. That's when we went to Vacation Bible School. Because back in the day, you went to this school, this church for Vacation Bible School, this church. That was our summer going to different churches for Vacation Bible School. But I'm trying to call it.
I don't know why they called it Vacation Bible School. It wasn't no vacation. I would pack up my flip flops and have my shorts and get ready to go in my snorkeling kit, and they sit you over in some old moldy room all day, and I'm like, this ain't no vacation Bible school. This is not that. Ain't no different than Sunday school. And where's the vacation part of it? And finally, someone said, "Well, you come to it during your vacation." I said, "Well, why do we come to it for my vacation if it ain't a vacation? It ain't no vacation."
It was a vacation. You learned the Bible. You were learning the Bible. But I'm trying to remember who all was there. I didn't want to miss any names or individuals. We had Dr. Sean Smith, Pastor Sean Smith, and he was there.
Sean Smith, the city of Atlanta.
The city of Atlanta.
There's a
Uh,
new pastor there. I can't give
his
us our
name is
card. I
Dale.
can't
His
think of
name is Dale
his name right
Livingston.
now.
Dale is Dale Livingston. Dale Livingston. He
Yeah,
pastors a church over in
yeah.
Mechanicville. He was there with us.
He's the new
Uh,
pastor there.
yeah, he's a new pastor there, and there were several other pastors and several other females that were there. Didn't get their names, the ones that were there, but it was a great witness, great meeting, and others came in, and we really thank Dr. Thomas Eric for facilitating this for us. We, as the South Florida Minister Alliance and CBC, where you're the president, it's the South Florida Minister Alliance, we were co-conveners of that meeting with the
Yeah.
superintendent, and we're going to work with him as he continued to work, comes in to work with the students. One thing that I did like with Shanan, what he said, I'm not here to keep a job. I'm here to do a
Ah,
job.
do it.
He said,
Yeah.
and my job is not the politics. It's not that. It's about the students. It's about the student. It is to bring about a positive result with our students. And Shannon, you brought up an interesting point, and we'll move on after this one and bring up Miss C, and we'll come back with more commentaries about what's going on in the political arena. But I wanted to take this time to talk about what we are part of today. You mentioned something about the alternative school and came up with Dr.
Yes, sir.
Smith about the Hank Aaron school. It's an alternative school for kids, right? So you
Yes.
made a very interesting commentary about the alternative school and what you suggest that may ought to want to take, that he may want to consider to take place. How we could help as ministers.
So yeah, I mean, first of all, I echo everything you said. It was a great meeting with Dr. Brian Johnson today, and I'm looking forward to him being just a great jewel in our city as in that seat as school superintendent for APS. But we talked about the fact that at my church, we actually began our church plant in an alternative school building, and we partnered with them. And so we, many times this is the end of the road for a lot of young people. They, for whatever reason, whatever happened, they find themselves in this open campus, this alternative school. And really, what I said is that we should really view it as a reset, that it's actually like a reset. We don't see it as the end of the road, but the beginning of a whole new road. And I encouraged him to engage the clergy, to come to his problem schools, and that the clergy, since we're always talking about working with the least, the lost, the left out, we're always talking about dealing with broken people. Well, let us come and work and bring a hedge of capacity and commitment around faculty and staff, and work with those young people and make them strong in the broken places, so that a school similar to well, why would you name this school after him? I think Hank Aaron would have loved for this school to be named after him, because if we can take 755 young kids that come through that program and we can turn their lives around, and they can do what he did. He didn't try to hit a home run. What he tried to do was he tried to knock the ball to the field, to the gate. That's what he was trying to do. Not necessarily knock it out, but to hit it as hard as he could to get it down to the gate. And many times it went over. 755 became that number. And so if we could take large amounts of young people, retool them, and change their lives, change the trajectory of their lives, and we do that, this will become the model school in the area as opposed to the problem school. So let's equip them. Let's put an instrument and a tool in their hand and let them swing for the rafters. And let's see hundreds of young people come to this place and find a reset more so than the end of the road.
Right, and that was Dr. Smith was saying, is because he was talking about one of his members, and this is for parents, because parents think, well, if they got to go to alternative school, that means that's it for them. Not necessarily. That's just, as you said, it's a place to come to get a reset. You may have made a mistake, but we're going to get you back into public school with everybody else, so you can graduate just like everybody else graduate from regular school versus the alternative school, because kids need, like for us, People need what? A second chance. They do make mistakes. They're kids. We all made mistakes as kids. And they don't sitting here sitting listening to Shannon and I watching us and say, you ain't made no mistake when you were a kid in school. Some of y'all cut
You
more
know you did.
classes than me, and I cut a few. But but we want to tell you, this ain't nothing but straight talk with your to the great Fann, the preacher man, and Shanan E. Jones around the world. Don't forget to like us, subscribe, make comments, and share us on YouTube, our YouTube channel, and listen to us each and every Sunday on WIGO 1570 AM on your AM dial at 7 p.m. It's straight talk with Greg Fann, the preacher man, and Shanan Jones. Hell Lamar. All right, listen, we're gonna go to Miss C. If Shannon and I are gonna come back and we're gonna talk a little bit about these what's going on in this election and what's happening with the left and the right, and what's really going on in terms of this autocracy. What is it called? Shannon having the word, the A word. Well, before becoming a democracy, autonomy, autocracy. Autocracy, thank you. Autocracy. That's the stage we're in now. We're going to talk more about that. We're moving toward a dictatorship. So you better keep your eyes open and your ears ready to listen to what we have to say. We'll be back after Miss C. Project 2025.
That's right.
See here, almost live with your 3-minute news blast. Hope you all are doing well today. Listen, on July 14th at 10 a.m. and every Sunday, Center of Hope Church at 3340 Noah's Ark Road in Jonesboro invites you to fill the pews. They also invite you to join them for their Friday morning prayer call. You can join them by calling 669-275-1543. And if you need any other information, you can call the church at 770-506-9797. The pastor is Bishop Alfreda Young. New Dimensions Ministry at 61 Bisbee Avenue in Atlanta welcomes you to worship with them each Sunday at 10 a.m. The pastor is Kevin Bean. It's revival time at Memorial Church of God in Christ, 4121 Thurman Road in Conley, Georgia, July 21st through the 23rd, 7:30 p.m. nightly. The guest speaker will be Bishop Mark Walden. Superintendent Maddox is pastor. If you need more information, call 404-794-9855. Or you can log on to their website at memorialchurchofgodinchrist.org. That's memorialcogic.org. Greater Truvine Church of God in Christ, where my good friend Elder Ransom attends, located at 13191 Veterans Memorial Highway in Douglasville, welcomes you to worship with them each Sunday at 11 a.m. Sunday school begins at 10 a.m. Morgan Green is pastor. Now listen, before we go, I have 4 things I'd like for you to do. I'd like for you to like us. I'd like for you to subscribe to us. I'd like for you to leave comments. Please let us know how we're doing. And I'd like for you to tell everybody, share Straight Talk News. And you'll be glad you did. And let's see, do I have anything else that I need to tell you about? I know Greg is probably saying, wrap it up. We need to get back to the show. I'll see y'all next time. Oh, listen, I did have one other thing. Listen, if you would like for us to announce your event, just email it to me at straighttalknews1362 at gmail.com. That's straighttalknews1362 at gmail.com. Okay? All right. Now here I come right back to you.
Well, we're back on the other side after Miss C with information and what's going on around the city of Atlanta, around the world, events and things. And if you want Miss C to do it for you, she'll do it. All you have to do is send it to her. And if you want to be on the program, you can send that to her too. That's Straight Talk News 1362 at gmail.com. Won't you do that? If you want to be on the program, Shanan and I love to have you. If you want to debate, Shanan loves to debate. He loves it. He'll debate you till you. Oh, he'll love to debate you.
No, my wife, she's a debater.
So if you want to be on, I tell you what to do. All you have to do is send her an email, Straight Talk News at 1362 gmail.com. Well, we're back now, Shannon. Shannon, there's some interesting things going on with these Democrats and these Republicans. They're working with a vengeance. They just yesterday, I saw on CNN yesterday that the Republican Party voted to move to have people who register to vote in federal election. If they're going to vote in federal election and they're a registered voter, they must show their citizenship and prove their citizenship to be able to vote in a federal election. And in addition to that, for states would mirror the same thing on the state level, okay? So now what we have is more voter what? Suppression, right?
No, stop.
Okay.
Stop. I agree with that.
Okay.
I totally agree with that. I can't go to Russia and vote. Well, I ain't going to Russia. But
you might. We might be sending you out to Russia after this.
I can't go to China and not be a citizen and vote. I think that voting is a responsibility not of a resident, but I think it's a responsibility of a citizen. See, if you give everybody everything, then why do I need to be a citizen? If I can get aid and do all this, why do I ever need to be a citizen?
So you agree with the left?
Higher than a citizen.
You agree with the left. You agree with the right.
I agree. No, I agree with the Constitution. I agree that voting and they 14th and 15th Amendments are critical amendments for us. One freed us. One allowed us. One made us citizens, and the other allowed us to vote.
Okay.
And I don't believe that a resident should be able to vote. I think that you should be a citizen of any nation. And I believe that as a citizen of that nation, I believe that the government then works for you. But I believe that you have to be a citizen. No other country can you go in and you voting in somebody else's country and you're not a resident, you're not a citizen of that country.
Well,
so I agree with that. So I don't see that as voter suppression.
Okay. Well, you may not see it as voter suppression. I do. Because what do they come back now and say to you and I? In order to prove you're a citizen, you have to have your birth certificate. Now, you may have yours. But many people don't have their birth certificate to prove that you're a citizen of the United States. So, I mean,
you mean that many people can't prove that the vital records, that they can't go and prove that they are a citizen of this country? Who can't prove that you're a citizen if you're a citizen?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Some people can't. Remember, if you go back, some people didn't get a birth certificate. Their name was put in the Bible.
And they still alive? And they still
alive and with us.
Are they still with us?
They still alive with us.
That's about 5%.
It doesn't make any difference. 5% or 10%. We're gonna move on since you want to talk about Biden now. You want to talk about Biden, okay? You want to talk about Biden. You want to talk about Biden now? But listen, let's talk about what's really going on with this thing, though. Seriously, though, with the Democrats talking about dumping Biden at the 9th hour when the election is only 100 and some days away. So
117 days, 116 now.
Right. What sense does that make? I mean, in a real sense, that you're going to jump him. And the polls is saying that he and Trump are tied, And
46 and 46.
So, I mean, what sense does it make to say, well, we're going to drop him? But then but the record, I was listening to a program this morning, then I'll turn it over to you and let you give a comment to me, is that when they was doing fact checking, It said that when Trump said he's done more for blacks and then in terms of employment than any other president. Well, the fact is, yes, he did good, but Biden has done exceedingly more better than he has done, right? So some of the things that he said that he has done for blacks and Hispanic, Biden has exceeded what he has done more than what he did, right? So, and the economy is doing great. And one of the, and this is because me being a labor man, I really had my ears open to this. When he said that when you talk about inflation, inflation happens when you start raising salaries. And people are doing good salary wise. So if they're doing good salary wise, then you're going to have inflation because consumers, people who sell goods and services, they're going to charge more because their bottom line is being attacked because they have to pay more for employees. So that creates inflation, a part of inflation. So I'm going to turn it over to you now and let you give your dissertation since you don't believe that's voter suppression. But you got your birth certificate, but my grandmama ain't got her name in the Bible.
Mine didn't either, but your grandmama and my grandmama ain't here.
Yeah, but again, no, we got some grandma. No, we got some grandmamas that's here that's in the Bible. Trust me. And I will. Okay.
I'm not gonna argue with you. That can be true, but I think that's. I think that when you look at the trajectory of the country, I don't think that's a bad thing. But we'll table that for later. This is a faithless Democratic Party. Democratic Party at one time, the faith leaders were there, Jesse and several others. This is now we listening to Clooney, who's clueless, who knows nothing about the grassroots move. He's a big wig donor that ain't never knocked on a door. He's never stomped. He couldn't tell you who Black Lives Matter is from Black Voters Matter from Black Lives Matter. This is a faithless party. Where we are right now is in the Bible. Trump is a kind of a king. He's a pharaoh. He has a Supreme Court that has created this autocratic king that he thinks that he was supposed to get sentenced today. But he got the Supreme Court already lining up, and he's already lying about Project 2024. Oh, I don't know anything about it. You don't, but the 140-something people that were in your administration, that was on your payroll, that you listened to, that you hired, are the ones that wrote it. Democracy is it's in the Bible. We got a leader that can't talk, and Joe Biden. He can't talk like Moses. But he has to go and tell Pharaoh to let the people go, let democracy move forward. When this man had us wrapped up, COVID on one side and all the other stuff, and when he didn't get what he wanted, he literally was trying to kill his own vice president. Do you remember that? Tried to kill his president, vice president, and the senators and everybody had them running like a bunch of refugees in the Gaza Strip. This is Trump. So he's lying about all that. Oh, I don't know anything about Project 2025. He's lying.
That's Trump. He's just a liar, Shannon. He's just a liar.
Absolutely. And so, it amazes me. You look at the accomplishments and you're wondering, where are his errands? Where is the errands for this Moses, right? That trying to bring the country back into a place of democracy, trying to make sure that democracy can be the order of the day, right? And so look at his accomplishment. He gives you the first African-American female on the U.S. Supreme Court, first African-American and female vice president of the United States. And we'll come back to that and tell some folks that are thinking. I'm going to come back to that in just a moment, okay? Look at what he's done for HBCUs. Look what he did for college debt, that noose that has been around people's necks for years, allowing them to move into creating greater wealth. All the stuff that Trump says he's done. And his own speechwriters in them don't know what he's talking about. His own staff don't know what he's talking about when he says all that. Joe Biden actually did this. And right now, we're at a place where his own Aarons have done something else. If you go back and read that text in Exodus, where God asked him, "What's in your hand?" And he said, "I got a staff in my hand." And let's just for a moment imagine that staff to be the people who should be a part of his party, the Aarons that should be his voice, the Aarons that should help him, and that should be able to articulate what this man has done in 81, and you know, in this, and just these last 4 years. Forget what he did as vice president. Forget what he's done as United States Senator, which there were some issues that we had with him around the crime bill and all that. But when we look at it, and we look at who should be backing him, God said, "Put your staff on the ground," and it became a snake. And what Biden is having to walk through right now is all of the snakes that have no faith in God, democracy, or the process, and who are trying to use privilege to force what they want. The snakes. Now, let me come back to this, Bishop.
Okay.
They've been saying, well, you got to go, okay, you're 116 days out. The Democratic convention is in August. That means you got August, September, October, and the election is on November the 5th. So they're running around saying, oh, it could be Kamala Harris, it could be Kamala Harris, and Gavin Newsom. Let me tell you something. A governor can be a governor in a state. And they already say that California is a socialist state. So that's the narrative that would be on Gavin Newsom. Secondly, you have to bring Gavin Newsom into the world stage. You got to put him now before White House press corps and the political press corps that ain't concerned necessarily about California, but now as him being the vice president of the United States. Think Clinton. Clinton had all that stuff going on. He was the governor of Arkansas. But when he got on the main stage, all that came out. We don't have time to have to know what is in Gavin Newsom's and what Kamala Harris and Biden have been scrubbed. We know they know what they got on them. They've scrubbed them. They've investigated. You don't need to introduce something new into this. You don't have enough time. You're running out the clock, and you done took the players off, and you put some whole new players on the court. In the championship game, in game 7 of the championship, you want to get rid of all the players and put all new players on.
Hold it, Shannon. Hold it. Hold a minute, Coach. Hold a minute, Coach. Hold a minute, Coach. You have to Coach. Hold up a minute. I just want to get you, Coach. I don't want you to have a heart attack over there. Okay. But what I want to point out is,
let me just make this final point.
Make that final point because I got a point to what you just said.
Because everybody's saying, you know, Gavin and if you want Kamala Harris to be president, you better vote for Biden. Because I think that's the best chance she has. Because I think he's going to go in for about a year or two and say, you know what, snakes, I think you're right. I think I'm going to retire. And the vice president of the United States will now become the president.
But that's the fear, though.
And then he would have. And
that's
then
the fear.
Hold on, let me say this.
Okay.
And then he would have put. Then he would have put. I know it's the fear.
Yeah.
But it was the fear when he chose it last time. Yeah. But then he would have put the first black woman on the Supreme Court. He would have had a better record than FDR, Clinton, and Obama for African Americans combined. And then he would have been responsible for the first female black president. First female president and black president. Put the black woman on the Supreme Court. Gave record numbers to HBCUs and done all of this. That would be his legacy. Because the other way around, the musical chairs that we're playing right now and Russian roulette, ultimately somebody will get the chair, but come November the 5th, they'll be dead because of a self-inflicted wound. We can't play musical chairs and Russian roulette when democracy is on the table. We've got to do what our ancestors have always attempted to do since they've been in this country: attempt to save the soul of America and to protect and defend democracy. And so I think for that, we need to be riding with Biden and let the chips fall where they may. Well, he could die in office. Like 18-year-olds die on the front lines of war every day for defense of democracy. And I think that if we stop tripping and flood the zone, we shall overcome and we will beat Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump is building, he's on a house of cards. He's not on a firm foundation.
Well,
and nobody in this party has called for him to step down after 34 felons. Not one person.
Hold up, Shannon. Hold up, Shannon. Hold up. Our time is being well spent, but I do want to say this. I got to make one point.
It's your show.
No, I want to say this because it's one point we definitely need to make. Even though all these people coming against Biden, you got Dick Cheney, you got Alan, the Alan Kinsinger rather, and you got some other Republicans on the Republican side saying they will not vote for Donald Trump. There are a lot of Republicans, conservative Republicans, real Republicans, who really believe in democracy that will be voting for Biden, and they're speaking up for Biden. So for the Democratic Party and parts of the Democratic Party at this junction to start talking about they're abandoning the only person that they have that could beat Trump, who beat Trump the last time, is that is, in my opinion, that's why I say I'm neither Democrat or Republican. I'm for the people. That's why I say democracy is what we need to stand for and fight for, because our kids will look back at us. As Dr. King is gone, Abernathy's gone, Jose is gone, C.T. Vivian's gone, Y.T. Walker gone, and I can go, and the list can go on and on and on. All those people who stood up for us, they're gone. It's our time now. We have to stand up for ourselves, and we have to stand up for our kids and our grandkids and our great-grandkids so they can enjoy the things that we enjoy. And with that, Shannon, we're going to say this ain't been nothing but straight talk with yours truly, Greg Fann, the preacher man, and Shanan E. Jones. Listen to what we're saying, because these things are very important. And pass the word on. Let us not let this harvest pass. You know, there's a song that says, "Sinner, don't let this harvest pass." Don't let this harvest pass. Make sure you get to the polls to vote, and vote right. Don't forget to like us, subscribe, make comments, share to our channel. Listen to us each week on WIGO 1570 on your AM dial at 7 p.m. and share with your family members and friends. And this ain't been nothing but what, Shannon? Straight talk. I wish I had a stethoscope so I could check your heart, boy. Until next week.
Your guest on Straight Talk. Email Greg Fann at FANN922 at Comcast.net or call 404-308-0795. Join us again for another episode of Straight Talk with Shanan Jones and Greg Fann, the Preacher Man.